do acrobatics work in a fight? So, when we see things like video games, when we see Dark Souls, Devil May Cry is a huge example, or even movies, a lot of the times people are rolling, doing like cartwheels, flips, spins, all kinds of stuff. And the question is, jumping above the weapon.
I'd have to be trying to get your legs in.
Yeah, which is, we already talked about why you shouldn't go for legs. Yeah. But does any of this stuff work in an actual fight? So today we are going to try and figure out, through trial and error, does it work? So as a baseline test, we're going to see, can I actually roll around in all of this gear? So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Okay.
I can absolutely roll around if you watch our other videos in without this gear on. I can roll around, I can do cartwheels, I can do jumps. So that's not in question, really.
I don't want to try.
Yeah. The question is, will it work in this gear? So here, let me just do a couple tests. A couple test rolls with all my gear on. Here we go.
You're basically wearing a mask, right?
Yeah. It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I don't think I can do a cartwheel with these on.
Probably not. You'd have to do it with your fists.
I have to do it with my fist. I can do it with one. I can something like that.
Well, you can leave your glove off your offhand.
Off my offhand, just don't hit my offhand. We'll try that one.
But if you're rolling and stuff, I might accidentally hit your offhand.
Let me see if I can do it with the sword. Here we go. Ready? Sword. Can I do those rolls? This is so much. Oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
It's not comfy.
It claims a little bit.
Ting, ting, ting.
You have to find somewhere to put it.
Oh. Huh?
You have to find somewhere to put it so it won't.
Yeah, I gotta get it out of the way. Okay,
if
so.
If you rolled and had this wrong, you could.
I can do a roll in all this gear fairly well, I would say.
Yeah.
Fairly good roll.
Yeah.
All right, so let's test. Will it work?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
You just throw them at me randomly.
Yeah, so I'm not going to tell him when I'm going to do it. We're just going to fence and see what happens. So first we're going to do a little bit of normal fencing with messers. Here we go.
Okay.
We're already tired. Double.
A little bit on the wrist, yeah. Might have been enough. It's kind of right on my thumb.
These are fun.
These sound really cool.
These sound so cool. All right. We're going to do a little bit of stuff with some craziness. Here we go.
Yeah. Hand shot. Happens a lot.
I got you. Sorry, I just keep not doing it. It's fun.
Well,
it's hard to get myself to do
It's
it.
hard to get yourself to do it because it feels
so wrong. Got me a leg. Yeah. So, was that a fast roll?
It was pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
Okay, so that surprised me a little bit, but I was still able to just swat at him.
Yeah, so I didn't tell him I was going to do it. We've been fencing. It was and like I got down there pretty fast, and I was behind him, but there was just.
I mean, you're behind me. It's
just a matter of that. All right, here, ready? Did that help me at all?
It got you away from me, but you probably could have retreated just as quickly.
Yeah, I rolled away from him.
And saved energy.
And it actually didn't feel great. But
well, you get up and you probably, I don't know if you feel dizzy afterwards at all.
Well, here's kind of the thing. I have a weird thing with my inner ear where I don't get dizzy.
Oh.
So my results might differ from somebody else. So if anybody is going to test this, somebody who rolls for a living and doesn't get dizzy doing it, I am the ideal candidate here for being able to roll in combat.
Oh, all right.
Very fine. I was going to roll, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, you hesitated.
Yeah.
Probably because it doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. Oh, this is tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough to bring myself to do this because I know that putting my head down and doing it is just so dangerous.
Yeah, and it might seem more Maybe it would make more sense if you just purely did it to my
Yeah, to your
left or
side.
right.
Let's see if you can try that, yeah.
Trying to roll past me.
Yeah, trying to roll past him to get the advantage. But so Dark Souls and Elden Ring and things like that, usually what you're doing, and granted the enemy is bigger and their attacks are bigger.
Right, they have wind-ups.
Wind-ups, and I could roll into him, but I do not feel comfortable rolling with a two-handed sword. Well, we can do it with the plastic ones.
And I don't need a wind-up. We talked about that in another video.
Yeah, we
Big
did.
attacks, you don't really need them in unarmored stuff. I mean,
All right, let's keep going. Let's try this. That didn't help me at all.
not really. I mean, you were a little bit away from me that I didn't really get to you in time, but I still knew exactly where you were going to come up.
Yeah, so he didn't get me, but I just wasted energy. All right. Okay, but hold on for a second. How much distance did I cover on the roll?
Quite a bit.
How much distance did I cover when I just ran away?
I don't remember.
Was it about the same?
Yeah.
It was about the same.
Well,
So,
and the question is, like earlier when you rolled away from me, it was pretty helpful, but it was the same as basically just
yeah,
that.
I rolled away from him and I covered a good amount of distance, but he was right on me when I got up, and then I just ran away, and it took so much less energy.
And you can cover yourself while
I
you're
ran
retreating.
away like this, and it helped a lot. All
Normal
right.
retreats, yeah.
So let's try this.
You wanna
I
try
have
this?
a synthetic one-handed sword,
Okay.
and you have a synthetic two-handed sword.
Okay,
So let's do that.
okay. The idea that I might be slower.
Yeah, then you're going to be slower because you have a synthetic, because you have a one-handed sword.
I will also have more reach though.
All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have a bigger weapon versus a smaller weapon. The idea that I'm being a dexterous character and faster than him. Now we already talked about why this weapon isn't slow in one of our other videos.
Yeah.
So
Recap though. It's
yeah.
not that heavy. You have an extra hand for control.
So this isn't going to have big wind-ups like Dark Souls is. So I kind of think I know where this is going to go, but
Well, yeah. Let me show you. Stick your arm out. I want to show them how little of space I need to give a pretty solid cut.
yeah, that was
Like,
solid.
that's a good one.
That was a good
That was
cut.
your wrist.
That would have been my hand destroyed.
And it was from maybe a few inches away.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go like this.
I'll be honest, I'm nervous about this.
Huh?
Can you not hit this hand if
I'll try.
Okay. This makes me nervous, but you know what? I wonder how sticky is this going to be on the ground?
That probably would be pretty good. Maybe not as much as your hand though. I don't know. Try it. I'll let you try it.
I don't want to do it.
It was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty slippery.
All right, so
Yeah. Just when you're fencing, keep it out of the way. It should be
all
okay.
right. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
I actually got that.
I think you hit the.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think you hit the crossbar.
Okay.
No, I felt the impact.
Yeah. Here's my hand. Yeah.
Okay.
This is hard.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I did
I mean,
nothing.
you got away from me,
You
but
got
now
away
I'm
from
just
me.
like, hi, that was
Hi.
cool. Neat trick.
A little bit, yeah. I can't stress to you guys enough how hard it is because a roll takes time. I have to time my roll, and it's so fast.
Well, and also, told you,
Yeah, this is a huge
I have
problem.
like, what is that? Almost 2 feet?
Yeah,
almost
that's a
a
lot.
foot and a half of extra length. I missed you, but
I got your leg,
I did get my leg.
but I lost an arm in the process.
Yeah.
So I did kind of a crazy dive attack. I got his like how hard did I hit you?
Not that hard.
Not that hard.
Not that hard.
I didn't hit him that hard, and he got my arm pretty good.
And it was on the side where
Yeah.
it's bony. It would have hurt like hell,
I don't
but it
think
wasn't my hamstring.
I don't think it would have stopped you.
Wasn't my Achilles heel. Oh, hold on. Tighten this down. It's fine. Okay.
I got him in the thigh,
We're here.
but I didn't do anything to stop that incoming
It
attack.
was also a very meaty part.
Meaty
It
part.
would have hurt. You would have cut. That one was actually pretty good. I
It's a
think it would've cut.
good cut. I mean, I also didn't go as hard as I could because I knew it was a pattern,
True.
to be honest.
Yeah.
But would it have stopped your attack?
No.
So he hit me arm, back. I am destroyed. I'm not fighting anymore.
Right. And you got me, but you sacrificed to do it.
Oh, right between the shoulder blades.
That time I was a little bit, for whatever reason, you did a good job, but I somehow noticed some subtle thing about your body language.
And that's the other thing about this that's really the problem. It's not like in a video game where the enemy AI can't really read what you're doing and only reacts after it's happened. In fencing, you are watching your opponent to see what they're going to do. You never, if you're being reactionary in fencing, you're going to lose. You have to be...
It's part of it, but it's
like,
not enough.
Analytic is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You should be analytic in fencing. You should be watching your opponent and protecting yourself as you get to know what they're going to do. Kind of like, what I like to do is I like to kind of bait my opponent and make them throw a couple of attacks to see what their thing is, or throw some fake attacks to see what they're going to do.
You can also do things like
probing,
see what they do when they feel pressure on the weapon. If they push back, now you know you've got someone who pushes rather than disengages. So the next time I try that and I push, I just come off.
So you're always probing, you're always analyzing. You're reactionary, like you take in the information from reaction, but like AI in a video game, I don't know, I'm not a video game programmer, but I don't think they're analyzing you. Matt saw me do something. I tried to feint high, and then he saw me start to do this or something.
In terms of programming, they have to react to things.
Yeah,
they might be able, somebody could conceivably make a game where there's some system in the background keeping track of how often you do what.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be like,
the AI
they can't literally know that you're about to do something.
Because
your brain.
Oh, you're right. Well, and that's another thing, because you press a button, right?
And that's what
and your
triggers
character does something. It's not like in real life where if I'm going to cut him, there's a bunch of muscular processes that have to happen first that cue in the finale of that cut. In the video game, the button gets pressed and I hit. Now the programmer could program the AI to know when the button gets pressed.
Sure, like you could
that's super unfair.
The AI could be like, my opponent just did a light attack, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
But they still, they're still not doing very deep analysis of your habits. Now I have this idea to have a game that like
starts to
studies your habits.
But so what we're getting at here is that these things take, the only role we found to be marginally successful has been the one that is completely in the opposite direction of the opponent. And even that one, I could accomplish that just as easily by taking a couple of big retreats, or even just turning and running away. And I would lose a lot less energy, and I would be less likely to hurt myself. Because like, I'm a pretty tough guy and there's some padding here, but it's not fun throwing myself on the ground over and over again. I'm probably gonna have a bruise or two. This isn't like, it's one thing to do it in a controlled stunt environment. It's another thing to do it in the middle of a unchoreographed fight with an opponent. And I'm just so vulnerable in a role. All the things that are very vital, my back, my face, everything in the back of my head, super open for him to hit.
So I wanted to say another thing. I was being nice to you.
Yeah.
If I really were fighting you and wanted to stop you or hurt you, a lot of those rolls I could have kept attacking you.
Yeah, exactly.
I could have just hit you again and again and again.
Yeah. So Matt's, again, because we are constrained by the fact that we're both friends and don't want to really hurt each other,
right.
And I don't have the money to go to the hospital.
Well, and if you're in the middle of a roll and I cut you really hard in some part of your anatomy, or you might make it hard for you to get up.
Exactly.
In which case, you're done.
Exactly. So, as for flips and things like that, we didn't quite test that, mostly because I don't feel comfortable doing a full-on backflip on this ground in this armor. Backflips are difficult to do. You need to be in the right headspace.
I would imagine there'd be a lot of telegraph.
There's so much telegraph.
You'd be going like
literally,
this.
like, so you've at least got to come to here to do a backflip.
At that point, I would just hit
if you saw this. Another thing is a normal backflip, you don't go backwards very far.
Yeah.
Normally, you end up like, if you're doing a good backflip, you might go about that far back. If you're doing a bad backflip, you might go about that far back. But that's not enough, and it takes so long to do. The back handspring I did gain some ground, but even from choreography I know this. I will choreograph those in, and all the time I have to run the risk of getting my foot whacked in midair when I'm trying to dodge this. So had Matt, gone for my foot then, I didn't initiate that handspring until I was already this far away.
I think what happened was, so I don't always know what my conscious thoughts are, but I've been fencing long enough that I just sort of have this intuition about whether or not a certain movement is threatening. And if it's not threatening, I might just let it happen.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a handspring thing away from me, I might just stand there and be like, oh, okay, he's done.
Yeah,
Go back
exactly.
and fight.
So what Matt did was he watched me do a silly handspring, waste a bunch of energy, disorient myself, even if not much, and then he was just right back there. I didn't gain anything. Looks super cool and stuff like
Sure.
Star Wars when they're like uber humans.
And I don't mind when it's in a game
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
It's
no,
fun.
we're not saying that we don't like it in the games. It's just like, is it realistic? Is it a realistic combat mechanic? And the
No.
answer, pretty definitively, is no.
No.
I know some people have shown me a couple of videos of somebody on the internet doing a roll in a sparring match and making it work.
Sure.
And I'm sure somebody has
We've
done it.
always said that something
Yeah.
can work.
I've seen people pull off and attack with reverse grip in a video.
Sure.
It can happen. The question is it a reliable strategy that you should sink time and energy into using?
I mean, if you want to be a guy who goes to tournaments and impresses people by rolling and occasionally getting away with it, go ahead. But if you're talking about fighting,
the thing
it's
that they
silly
don't
to do.
show of those is how many times that move didn't work.
Right.
Like you see the one video where it does work, you don't see the
Well, it's like the guys who have the videos of them doing like a weird backwards basketball shot or
Yeah.
something. They film every time. And
Yeah,
upload
yeah.
a good one.
yeah. So like, and a lot of actually show what I like a lot is people who show how many times it takes to do
Yeah,
it. Right?
no,
That's
I'm-
cool.
yeah.
So, but what we're saying is like, you can go on the internet and find anything made to work. You can find. I keep looking at the picture. You can find anything being made to work. You can find backflips working in fights. You can find reverse grip working in fights. You can find, if you want to see it happen, it will happen either because somebody choreographed it to do it that way, they had a partner who was accommodating, or it was that one miraculous time where it actually worked. But over a period of time of doing this and doing it consistently, there are things that consistently work and things that are one-off. We've had crazy stuff happen in here.
Yeah.
We've had crazy, like, once-in-a-lifetime attacks that hit, and you're like, how did that land? And you're like, I don't know.
Well, we do it enough. People, I mean, if we were fighting people a lot for real, we wouldn't be doing it that often, and
Yeah,
the first time we mess up would maybe
be the last. Yeah.
So
We're actually, and that's the other thing, like, we're probably better trained fencers than a lot of people who are fighting in wars, only because, back in the day, only because,
battles?
yeah, only because most of those people died in their first battle.
Well, and most of them, if you want to, I mean, I know it's such a general thing to say.
Yeah.
Ancient, whatever word you want to use, old battles with hand weapons.
Yes.
Your common infantry person
That almost knows.
probably would have at least had maybe a shield.
Yeah.
And if they had a shield, they probably would have had. I mean, you're talking about Vikings or something. Swords weren't that common. They were. I mean, maybe later, but I know that axes were really prominent.
Axes are a thing. See,
Because they're really good.
they're good.
They
No,
don't
they are.
They're easier to make.
And that's the thing about it, right? And
Yeah.
if you're talking about a weapon that's versatile, fast, and good against another sword,
Sure.
a sword. If you're talking about a weapon to hack down many opponents in battle, a spear, an axe, something that's going to do as much damage as it can while you eat.
And if you have a shield,
Yeah.
you don't need. A sword is unique because the whole thing can be used for defense if you have to.
Yeah.
An axe, the haft could probably take some
It's
good
not,
blows.
it
But
could.
there's not a lot
There's
of
no hand
protection.
guard.
But if you have a shield, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
keep your hand back and use the axe when there's
Yeah,
no-
exactly.
And it's cheaper. You need someone who's good enough at ironworking
Oh,
or
it's so
whatever
easy.
to make an
Yeah.
axe head, sharpen
Yeah.
it, stick it on a stick.
This is, they had smiths and then they had swordsmiths.
Right.
Because you probably didn't go to the normal smith to get a sword made. A specialist just made swords, probably.
Well, most smiths probably made tools and farming
Tools and
stuff.
farming company.
Yeah.
You know what's really easy to make? A spearhead or an axe head.
And an axe is,
It's something
if
they
you
use
make it a
anyway.
little thinner,
Yeah,
it's good
not
for
the war
battle.
axe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, rolling in acrobatics in sword play, does it work?
No.
No, it doesn't work.
It's fun.
It's fun. I mean, like, even though I was losing, it was a lot of fun to try it out.
Sure was. And
Yeah.
there might have been one. There might have been one time when you did roll kind of close and got you were quick
I
enough.
got
but-
close once, but you hit me.
Right.
The 2 times I slid and attacked your leg, I did get you, but it's it's back to that same reason why we don't do leg cuts, because I might have got you, but in doing so, I was so exposed that you got me in much more vital places. So yeah, I might have taken you out of battle. I might have gotten that one thing, but at the cost of my life.
Yeah, and I would say in general, this can apply to footwork too. the more big type movement you
Yeah.
do, even a step that's too big
Yes.
is predictable.
Exactly.
If you see me going to make a huge
Yep.
step like this, I have to finish it, and
Fencing-
you know where I'm going to land.
Fencing is very much a small sport.
Mhm.
Fahima too, it's very much a small thing. All of the movements, we don't have a lot of movements that are huge. A lot of them are very controlled and in this sphere in front of us. We very rarely do you or I ever bring the sword behind our own head.
Right.
Almost always it's out in front of us, and almost always our
I don't
footwork.
even like to have this guard, which
I-
is not
I-
really a guard, but a
Yeah.
position.
I do like that one, and that's
That
as
one's
far
fine.
back as I go. It's as
Right.
far back as I
But
go.
you don't have to have it.
No, I
I've
never
seen
do.
some people do it even with
Well,
like,
yeah, and
their
I've
hands
seen,
out.
I think I've seen a lot of Myers. A lot
Yeah.
of Myers is back here. And that's in the beginning, again, that's later. Myers' school was, I think, in 1530-ish, and that's about the end of longsword as a combat weapon.
Right.
So, anyway, thank you for watching this video. What should they do if they, to the like button? What should they do the like button?
Roll on it.
Roll on the like button. What about the subscribe button?
Hit it while it's rolling.
Hit it while it's rolling. Bah!
Use the subscribe button to hit the rolling thing. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this or any of our other content, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support allows us to keep creating shorts, fencing videos, and our major projects. When you support the team on Patreon, you get access to behind-the-scenes content, discounts on merch, opportunities to game the crew, and so much more. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the fun stuff Sellsword Arts is doing. You can even ring the bell if you really feel like it. You can also join the community Discord and chat with the crew and other cool people with similar interests. And if you don't agree with something that I've said in one of these videos, you can always fill out the duel request form and challenge me to a duel so you can prove your point. You can find our Patreon and Discord link in the description. Additional links are in our bio. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.